ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome to a very dirty, nasty, late night update on the Simulation Battle event. Now, I'm making this an hour after this event has gone live. I've taken one look at it, and God, look at what they've fucking done to this. So, sorry if the audio quality isn't up to normal scratch. Basically, Gaijin have managed to fuck this entire event in one single shot. So let's take a look at how they've done that. First, we've got to look at the German team. What have Gaijin done to change the way the German team was working? Fucking nothing. Not a goddamn thing. All they've done is add in the Porsche Tiger Command Premium, a tank that is utterly shit. So, well, we get a shit heavy. So Germany now has the option between a good heavy like the Tiger and a shit heavy. What have they done with the Russian side? Well, all the Russian vehicles are exactly the same as they were before, except now you have the M13, the M15 and the M16 motor gun carriage, the M22 Locust, the two variants of the 76mm Sherman, the 105 Sherman, the M4A2 Sherman, the new Cobra King Premium, two P-47 variants, a fighter that can carry more bombs than any bomber that the Germans have access to, and is still one of the best fighters in the game, and the fucking P-51s to top it off, and an A-20G, all on one team. Are you fucking insane? Who comes up with these lineups for these events? Do you have somebody on there who really... You must have. You've got to have somebody in there who is in desperate need of a fucking CAT scan. Alright? Somebody over there is just... I saw this alone, and I had no words for how bad this is. P-51s and P-47s. And the best fighter the German team gets access to is a G2. Yeah, maybe the A5. Although I would take a P-51 over an A5 any day. Add what Russia's already got in this. They've now got 5 different modes. I mean, look at the fucking lineups in this match. We have 75 people in the US line, and we have 12 people in the German line. I can understand exactly why there are no fucking Germans playing this. It's not that the Germans don't want to play it, it's the answer, and it hits 91 right before we get a battle. Okay, so here we are in battle. You want to see how fucking stupid this really is? Take very careful attention to the fucking cost in spawn points. Now, my M4A1 is stock, but stock or fully upgraded makes absolutely no difference. 210 spawn points in order to put a 76mm Sherman that, when fully upgraded, can penetrate a Tiger at over 1,000 meters into the game. Now, it's very important to note that it was only 480 spawn points to put in the P-47. Now, the P-47 is one of the best fighters available in this event. To top that off, it gets access to a ground target ammunition or an armoured target ammunition that will penetrate the back of pretty much anything except a Tiger on German ground forces to go in all its 50 caliber machine guns. Especially from high angles of attack, it gets 2 500-pound bombs, and it gets a complement of rockets as well. Keep that in mind. 480 points to deploy that aircraft, and watch what I have to do to earn that points. Now, I've just spent 210 to put this thing into the match. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. So, we're a little over 2 minutes into the match. Now, we are inside of the enemy's cap circle, and we've already half capped it out. I'm moving up on the bridge in my stock 76mm Sherman. You can see it's stock from the ammunition at the bottom of the screen. There's a Tiger retreating across the bridge. I'm seeing if I can get a shot on it. Now, notice the enemy team actually hasn't managed to make our spawn yet. That's the difference in mobility here. We have capped out their control point, and they have not managed to get to ours yet. So that's the mobility difference between the two teams. So, I'm crossing the bridge. Now, this is not a Sherman Jumbo. It cannot take a hit to the front. As I said, this is probably, I think it's only the second time I've ever actually driven this tank. So I have no upgrades for it, except maybe the tracks. I know there's a Tiger in there at the moment. Grievous has just taken a shot over my shoulder with a 105 to push it into cover. I come around the corner, put a shot, it bounces, it hits me, it one-shots me. All I did is sit in that cap for about half the time it took to cap it, and bounce one shot off a Tiger. That's all I have done this match. Yet I've got enough points to deploy the P-47. 6 114mm rockets and 2 500-pound bombs. Okay, let's go in and, well, see what we can do with this. make sure I'm set to ground attack. Let's go into battle. Now, I always take the airfield spawn, I refuse to take the runway spawn, so I'm going to fast forward this a little bit as well. So, up in the air, and the first thing I notice is there's no Germans in the sky. There is not a single German aircraft deployed. Why are there no German aircraft deployed? Well, because of the respawn system, and I'm going to show you how that works in just a moment. But here's the second thing I notice. Just a little bit closer, just a second, I've spotted a couple of tanks on the ground. Are they friendly? Yep, they're friendly. You know all that fun we were having actually trying to work out whether or not the enemy tanks were enemy tanks or friendly tanks? It was one of the best parts about this event. You know, is that actually an enemy or not? You've got to double check before you go through. Now they've got a big fucking blue marker on your head, because I'm almost positive when tanks went into World War II they had a giant fucking neon blue name tag floating above their tanks. It's absolutely fucking perfect. I lost interest at this point. Grievous has already been taken out, so I decided just to do a fucking suicide run against this bloody AAA gun. I just didn't care. I wanted to go through and see exactly how badly the Germans are being fucked at the moment, so let's go check that out. Well, Germany, I hope you bought your fucking lube. Okay, so I brought out the Tiger Heavy Tank because, honestly, against 76mm Shermans and T-34-85s, there is next to nothing in that lineup that is worth deploying that has any chance of surviving except the Tiger. Now, the Tiger's 400 spawn points to bring out. Well, you'd expect that to be more expensive. It is a heavy tank. So, that's fine. But notice the Ju-87D5 at 540 spawn points. It's more expensive to deploy than the P-47. Now, of course, you're going to bring out the argument, oh, it's a dive bomber mags. Of course it's going to be more expensive in this event, except it has about the same fucking payload as a P-47 does, and neither aircraft has access to a fucking bombing site, so there's no difference except the P-47 is a superior fighter in almost every way once it's dropped its fucking payload. That's it. Just... Now, I know the whole bunch of you are going to be saying at this point, but Mags, it's a Tiger, you know, it's going to be easy to earn those points to get that Stuka out there. It's fine, it's not a problem at all. Oh, really? Well, let's go take a look. So I've got the Tiger rolled out, I'm just about to roll up on the first spawn point. Now, taking into account that all it took me to get a P-47 with full bomb load on the battlefield last time was to basically get one shot, bounce one shot of my own, and stay in a cap circle for about 15 seconds. So I've put one shot through this Sherman already. Second shot goes through. Massive critical damage, but he's still alive, so that's a critical strike on this Sherman. Third shot hits and kills 76mm Sherman. It, however, has destroyed my cannon breech, and it has destroyed my turret ring, so I can't actually move. So I've got to stop, so I'm angling the tank. I bounce a shot from down the road. So that's a deflection shot off the armour. That's additional points for my tank. I've stopped to reload, angle, and get one shot straight through the ammo rack by T-34-85. I've done a shitload more than I ever achieved in that Sherman last round. Not even close to the same amount, and I did not earn enough points to deploy the Ju-87D5. In fact, I'm almost 100 points short. Now, while we continue to discuss this, how about I put on some video from last week's and show you some of the things that will not happen in this current game mode. And let me explain to you why. First things first, there's the actual getting matches. Now, my matches pop pretty fast to begin with, but you'll notice how many people were queued up for the Allied side, or the Allied and Russian side, and how many were queued up for the German side. This is something that simply didn't happen in the last event. Why? Because, well, one, there was definitely an imbalance in the power of ground forces. It was an imbalance that was fairly close together. It required only minor adjustments to fix the problem. What Gaijin have done this weekend is absolutely fuck that balance to the point where it is 100% Allied Russian victory. You'd have to be a fucking moron to lose this match as the Allies or the Russians. If the Germans beat you, you're an idiot. And then there's the spawn point system. The spawn point system, well, there's a reason why I don't play RB anymore, normal RB. It's why I've completely transferred everything I do over to Sim. Now, the reason why I have transferred everything over to Sim is because I don't like this RB system. or this point spawning system. The reason why is because it completely removes the ability for a team to have a clutch game. Because what happens is here, the two teams will come into one another. Now we're going to assume that both forces have equal amounts of power, which was clearly not the case in this event. Russia and the US fucks Germany, but assuming both sides had equal power, and they come in to clash one another, and one side falters while the other side gets points. The winning side that is earning more points gains the ability to respawn if they lose a vehicle, and therefore be able to continue the assault at equal strength. The team that is losing tanks and forces rapidly is not gaining points, and therefore has no chance of a comeback. Some of the best fights I've had in War Thunder have been matches where the team has been utterly decimated. There's almost nobody left alive. You're facing overwhelming odds, and you and maybe one or two other tanks dig yourselves in and take out the entire enemy team. Well, that's not going to happen in this, because in this event, the enemy team has earned so many points that if you blow them up, they'll just come back again. They'll come back in a bomber and bomb you, or they'll just spawn in another tank. It's all the fucking same to them, because they've got points coming out the arse. It removes that ability to have clutch games. It means if you start losing at the side, first things first, if you don't make 2 kills within the first 5 minutes of engagement, you're probably not going to survive the match or be any use to your team. If you do manage to do that, but your team does not have the advantage within about 6 to 7 minutes of the engagement really get going, you may as well quit the match, because there's very little chance of you actually managing to come back. Actually, I would say there's no chance of you actually managing to come back. And last but not least, we come to the markers over teammates in this event. Now, the big part of running a bomber in this event, or in the last version of this event, was actually checking your targets, making sure that that was in fact an enemy tank you were about to drop a 500-pound bomb on. You had to double check what your target was. Now you don't. Now you just fly over the top and you get a big blue neon sign that might as well say, "Don't bomb here, dickhead." Not 24 hours ago, to the time of this recording, I released a video where I was praising Gaijin for how well they did the last weekend event, the last simulation RB. It was incredibly good fun. I had an absolute ball. There was a couple of minor tweaks that I think could have been done here and there, just little adjustments. There was nothing too major. A bit of a changeover in the vehicles, the lineup to balance it out a little bit, a bit of a change up in a couple of other things mechanically that would have definitely made a definite improvement to the game mode. But overall, I was very, very, very happy with the game mode. I thought it was brilliantly fun. And now this. I don't even have the words anymore. German pilots and tankers, do not bother queuing up to this event. It is a one-sided clusterfuck that has been poorly thought out and is a total waste of your time. You are more likely to find balanced matchmaking in the standard matchmaker than you are inside of this event. You're definitely going to have a better chance of victory in the end, and you can go over to simulation mode where you know at least there's not going to be a one-sided air battle happening over the top of you as well. For those of you that are in RB, at least you'll have a wider selection of aircraft, or a limited selection for those who face against. Honestly, arcade tanks would be better than this event. It's disgusting. Don't waste your time. It is not worth the frustrations you will have to endure. 2 matches in this event was enough to make me want to rage quit the game. Don't bother. That's my consumer advice for it. Gaijin's fucked it up again. Fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.